reported a few video weeks made $300 GMV profit margin is about 40 to 50% to do. TK is not like with picking up money, like no, we came in so far 95% or even 98% of the people are returned.
And then you went into the Smart Jump company and you didn't get it right.
Field Yell team has not gone without disbanding. I gave them all the things before I came out of the company, as long as the company does not die on the line. TK resigned to come out to Cut Leaks training. It cannot be equal to Cut Leaks itself as a market demand. All want to go to the training of the trainees. He paid the money the moment he did not know what he would be getting.
How to quickly activate the TK e-commerce name.
Sky Teacher You Are, where people in Shenzhen grew up in Jilin, the Northeast. People self-introduction in 2 years. Black Friday e-commerce festival that week on the report of a few videos a week to do $300 US GMV to do, in fact, has been the North American market. Margins is about 40 to 50% is through the shipping half of the second year into the direct jump effect of the official team in September of this year pointed out that will advance to the e-commerce sellers track to do TQ e-commerce before it is out of the teacher. What did you do qualifications in 17 years inside the graduation and graduated back to the country after thinking about the education did not grow in 17 years after graduation directly to start their own business in 5 years when they opened the studio, accumulated so much achievement, earned $1 million or so.
How did you get in touch with the concept of cross-border e-commerce?
How did you come into contact with the concept of cross-border e-commerce? 2020 cross-border e-commerce is particularly hot, especially the Yamaha selection that I thought of doing global cross-border e-commerce
is particularly red, especially in Asia. So I
want to do this cross-border e-commerce first thing to do. What did you do? Or even about the internet. So we asked a lot of friends in general. More people told me about Yamaha Choice because I also placed a Yamaha Choice of stores at the same time, but also saw a very niche track is TikTok. Everyone does not know TikTok, but I think that this may be our opportunity. Yamaha Choice, it is already very mature. The startup small teams want to cross that barrier is actually somewhat difficult, but TikTok is a new thing. I let 2 partners to do Yamaha Choice. I came to do TikTok, found that indeed TikTok running one across that barrier is in fact a certain degree of difficulty, but TikTok, it is a new thing. I let 2 partners to do. Yamaha choosing me to do TikTok, found that indeed TikTok run up. How long it took a time to run? About more than 2 months. A singleted TikTok e-commerce is a flow of business, does not mean that I send a video today. It is 100% burst. I just, after 2 months, the video exploded that day out of 350 single. The first product is what is a beauty product. Is very easy to show on TikTok. TikTok, it is very focused on the display of a brand, especially the short video later on. I just copy it on the right, we think.
Negative.
TikTok is not a pop-up and then a pop-up again after more than half a month without another pop-up AR.
Responsible TK e-commerce seller maximum results are taken. How big a result?
The annual donation of $2 to $3 million US is not particularly high. TikTok gross profit can reach 40%, 50%. Net profit also 20%, 30%.
Your TK's e-commerce seller team probably.
TikTok has a few people at the very beginning of the 3 people before the backbone of the education company ran through after it rented a small basement for about 3 months to the office building in Nanshan. About 6 or 7 people a year or so to the end of the 21st found that the live broadcasting electricity supplier up to the change of a 400 square feet of office.
It's 2020. Is TK like picking up money? We're in.
I'm talking e-commerce like 95 or even 98% of the people are out of the TikTok. This track really big waves of sand in 2020 has been doing training. Usually also write some public number in the TikTok industry. Some insights, TikTok official partners will often look at an executive. He said, hey, you do not come to the TikTok internal try and then decided to go to that round team. There is no go, no dissolution. I give them all the things you go to get before I come out of this company. As long as not dead on the line, you are responsible for what kind of position is TikTok shop, cross-border e-commerce investment and operation of 2 types of investment, operation manager, a class. It is the refinement of the industry, of a particular industry is very vertical. I belong to the scale of the whole industry when on the inside of the position feel their own. What changes? First of all, your vision will be broader from the business level to do investment. You have to run around to familiarize yourself with the various industrial belt. This year flew more than 50 times to do e-commerce. You must be cognizant of the industrial belt, cognizant of the supply chain, cognizant of the level of thinking in the entrepreneurial time. A lot of decision making is to rely on the cognizance of the boss, of the experience of your experience in the price of these jumps in these companies. It is, first of all, to the data-driven company to make a decision to rely on the bottom of the data, of the basis of the support of the talent. It was not so high. Why did you leave? So high. Why leave you? In a systematization that inside the play space is limited or have to face the market on their own. Secondly, in the big factory, it will wear down your will. To work pressure is not as big as entrepreneurship. Resigned out of what you do. Doug and Hurd guessed that his ceiling is far from being. He has a very big opportunity now. The team of 13 people are only 2 in the training of the rest of the 11 are all in the e-commerce industry, from the TK to the supply chain.
You've decided to resign. Do you want to come out and cut leaks?
Training, it cannot be equal to cut leaks. Training itself is a market demand. Indeed, there are a lot of people who want to naturalize to the e-commerce. He will not training is one of his fastest path. How to cut leaks, how to call it all. Want to go to the training of trainees. He paid the money the moment he did not know what he would get. This thing is very much depends on the training institutions, training teacher's heart, or what kind of thinking he is doing this thing. But where you are holding the long-termism, cherish your feathers, you will not say to do this thing. We do training that will seriously to teach is that you have a need. I solve the demand too. Long-termism, cherish your feathers. You will not say to do this thing to cut leaks. We do training that will seriously seriously to teach is that you have a need, I'm helping you to solve the needs of the two.
Next year, to do TK to 2 or 3 years, can you disclose TK e-commerce number? How to quickly set sail will not get the
02 can send some benefits to the fans, is in our country to do this set of e-commerce operations. The first, very important, is the environment of your cell phone environment. You want to simulate it? Well, did not simulate the environment of your back. And then how to do, you will find that this account will not work. And then they fall into a more practical set of level to do short videos and live technical level of the number of the need to remember that a principle of mimicry of a normal user. You do not log on for 10 minutes every day, and then you will not be able to do a short video. A day send 3 to 5 is enough to live. This 10 minutes click upload a bunch of videos and then offline to do short videos a day to send 3 to 5 is enough live. If the account is the early stage of the estimated push flow is not particularly much. A day to broadcast about 2 hours a day, a little more to broadcast 4 hours, and so on. The account of the traffic up to pull the length of time to do a short video involves how to go to the efficient output of the content of the first stage of going to imitate the category of the which platform. It does not matter what platforms do not matter. You have to be able to find a standard of your own. If you can't find the category, then you don't do the original first.
Model. You copy it over TK's e-commerce newbie sellers. Start short, video start, or live start, or both.
Test or to start at the same time is not recommended to start at the same time. Why start at the same time means that the cost will be higher. You first get one through, you then go to the other. With the ability to do items related to the shooting is very good at shooting. You have a sense of the net. You go to do a short video. You are very expressive. You are also very good at the English language directly from the live broadcast to start. I'm not good at both as long as the short video to start with the threshold of a much lower TK e-commerce.
When a family sells goods in a short video or a live broadcast.
Scolded you when there is the biggest pain point is what lies in the content, because in TikTok to get traffic is essentially the content without much of anything. You cannot go out without traffic on your content to do. Cannot, of course, some operational techniques. It can give you an increase of 20% of sales, or how the most urgent need to solve is to go to improve your ability to create the content, especially for the team of the startups. Have any good, some of the best advice. The most direct way is that you go more to see more, to brush more to send, because the short video, it is not necessarily very lofty. Our goal is to bring goods. May look very low video, it can bring goods. So this is called the aesthetic of the short video. This is the one hand. You also have to send the market will give you feedback. There is an output. There is feedback to try to the past ability to come up. Which category is now the most promising? The data level of the US area, the most promising market, home category, beauty category, standalone, digital category, clothing category, are large categories. Specifically asked about the selection of products recently. This stage and the previous stage is actually different. Why? The previous selection of products on the price with the requirements of low priced products 10 to 70 or 80. US dollars logistics volume should not be too large because you may have to cross-border shipments of your choice of some of the impulse to consume the product. Novelty is now not the same at this stage. Now it's a very special stage. In that all the categories are growing, it has space. For example, the US market, as long as the goods have been verified, it has a chance on TT. As long as the platform is not banned, you just have to look at the US region sells well. There have been successful cases, or that I myself.
What supply chain do I have before I go to choose TK? Is the overseas version of Jitterbug's gameplay? Or can these previous gameplay be replicated in TK e-commerce here to replay it?
The earliest form of video display, like your short video, is actually a lot of people are carried from Shaketone to TikTok to increase the number of fans, and then do e-commerce cache, including some of the underlying logic of the creation of the content is the same, but often the market development stage is not the same and will form a different path of development. Shaketone does not have a fist tube, TT has a fist tube. The gameplay is completely unrelated to Shaketone, and then again is TikTok. The essence of it's doing advertising and marketing in TT on the video, or do live, or even do advertising and marketing to do advertising and marketing. There is a very core factor is that you have to know who your user group is in order to go to the targeted marketing. Domestic and foreign user groups are not the same, so the marketing methods are also not the same. This cannot be attached to, including the stage of development of the market is also the stage of development is also the stage of the market is also, you like a period of time ago on the Shake Shot, there is the kind of fast over the kind of money. Live mode only 5 seconds over a U. If you do this on TikTok, customers do not know what you are doing.
We may have a 3.0 version of Shake Shack domestically, but we may have a 1.0 version in the US. We're going to be brutal, we're going to eat fast food, and we're going to be mean to people, and we're going to be a lot of people.
You can't say that it's an exact replica, but you have to take into account the local population, the local culture, the social groups, the local culture, the local culture, the local culture, and the local culture.